Good afternoon, everyone. Hawaii tourism and economy near standstill. China exports crushed. South Korean exports collapsed. Farmers unable to plant 19.3 million acres of crops this year. Add in now 8 months to maybe fix the oil facilities in Saudi Arabia, and you should just love negative interest rates. It is our friend, according to the central banks. And the global reality is this. We try to tell you, and here we are, 2019 and 20. The contraction begins. Global crop failures, contracting economy. Aloha. And how prepared are you for contractions in the economy and inavailability of food in your local supermarkets? My Patriot Supply, 2-week grab-and-go food crate, or the 4-week food supply. The link's in the description box below, and it's another way to support this channel and keep the information flowing. And a handful of basic skills that you should know: how to preserve foods, how to start a fire, and how to know exactly how cold temperatures and light frosts kill corn and crops. Over here on DTN, they have the full Farm Service Agency acreage report here. We're looking at the least amount of acres ever planted in the United States. So those that are claiming insurance so far on the books tallied up to this point, which is going to increase, by the way, 19.3 million acres. The most unplanted ever recorded, but they only started in 2007. But they do have quite good records going back to 1938, which would bring us right up to the cusp of the lowest planting ever since 1938. So you have to wonder how this increasing food price, decreasing crop yield, Hawaii is extremely vulnerable. They import 99% of everything they use every day. So not only is oil price going up, food price is increasing, and then also the tourism sector at a standstill. They cite it as the stronger dollar and foreign visitors are facing an increase in the price of Hawaii vacation, so they're choosing to go elsewhere. The global economy is also showing market signs of decrease and slowdown. And also in that second paragraph there, jobs in the accommodation and food service sector have been flat for the past 2 years, and jobs in the trade sector have fallen sharply. Now this is an overall look at the tourism sector here. There's been a sharp pullback in international markets. Now look at 2017-18 positive, but then we swing right over into 2019 negative. Now as we move into 2020, 2021, this is where the contraction is really going to occur, and your food price is spiking. This is not a good inverse relationship here. And now new articles coming out saying it could be 8 months, but they're still saying a very solid 6 months to fix these Saudi oil facilities. Yet contradictory news articles are saying, no, it's not as bad. So there's so much conjecture out there. How is this higher oil price going to mix into everything? Because we're already seeing South Korean exports collapsing 21%. And you know where it dropped last time like this? 2009. Now this time there's going to be no quantitative easing and bank bailouts. It's going to be a collapse. There's going to be no cavalry running in with helicopter money to drop in and save the economy this time. Markets had been filled with umpteen trillions of dollars since 2009, and look where we are, back to the same start point again, with all that money evaporated somehow. There will be no possible recovery this time, and when it goes, your food is in jeopardy. I cannot stress that enough. South Korean exports collapsed 21%. Let's dissect this a little bit. So Japan's one of their biggest markets, both inbound and outbound. So take a look at that, minus 13% exports to Japan, and then importing, bringing in from Japan, minus 16%. But then look at the other markets that are also huge for South Korea. China, down almost 30%, and also to the U.S., minus 20%. EU, down almost 13%. So where does this leave us? And then we have China contracting. Look at this, year-on-year exports, lowest in several years, but they're trending toward the 2009 era as well. And everywhere we look, happy smiles for negative interest rates. We should love negative interest. It's here to help us. Great article here on the Daily Independent. The problems arise when rates have been cut to zero and the economy still isn't performing as expected. Now, this is going to be the future in the crystal ball here. It's already not performing as expected. That's why they're talking and going to negative interest rates. Now, here's the theory about negative interest rates. If banks can't be bribed into putting that money out into the markets. Maybe they can be coerced through penalty payments on reserves, such as leaving your money in the bank, and it actually costs you money to leave it there. They're forcing the banks to push the money out by negative interest. So where's the problem? I thought the economy was rosy and we had the most bountiful yields ever, but it seems that both of these things are untrue. And right over here on Zero Hedge, negative interest rates are the price we pay for de-civilization. Excellent read on this one. And they question it as well. Under what scenario would anyone lend $1,000 and then receive $900 back? Would you want to do that? And another point to note here, nobody would want to sell their capital by giving the buyer interest payments as well. So what's going to happen? There's going to be a constriction here because to avoid the risk of lending, they're simply going to hold the assets, which means economic contraction. And you know what? Your just-in-time food delivery system relies on, credit and movement of money. If they're going to negative interest, there's going to be less money with less movement, which means higher prices. So wherever you look, it's going to be higher prices for your food. Inavailability for your food. Aloha! This is your future unless you're preparing. Myself and my co-author Bill Porter talk about these types of scenarios in The Climate Revolution, the Grand Solar Minimum, going back through the last 5 Grand Solar Minimums on how the economy contracted and where the opportunities were and presently are. In this day and age, it's the biggest opportunity in human history. You just need to know where to look. Climate Revolution, the Grand Solar Minimum, the links in the description box below. And as well, it's another way to support the channel. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video, and I will see you next time.